Hey everybody, welcome back to True North VR. Today we are checking out what I think might be the best VR golf club attachment. This is the Yezro Y28 for your MetaQuest 3 and 3S headsets. This one I'm going to unbox. It'll go through the full assembly, all the different options. I'll show you some gameplay on Golf Plus and Walkabout Mini Golf, and I'll give you my review of it. Let's jump into it. Okay, so here we have the club. User manual is going to be important. There's some important information in there. I will go through most of it in this video as well. So we have our golf club handle here. We have the controller cup with the bracket. We have a little extension shaft with the weights added to it. We'll go over those weights in a moment here. An elastic, some Allen keys, Velcro for Quest 2 controllers, and another extension shaft here as well. So there's a couple different ways you can use this. You can use this just like this, by inserting the controller in it. You're not going to have any extra weight or any extra length, but if you don't want extra weight and you don't need extra length, you don't have space for extra length, this is a great way you can use it. If you want to add the weight to it but you don't want the extra length, this simply will just screw into the bottom here, and then we've got the extra weight added without having too much extra length to it. However, if you do want length and weight, you're going to have to loosen this piece right here with the larger Allen key. So let's loosen that up here. Once this is out, then you'll be able to twist this out as well, so it's kind of double secured in there. And then it shows this smaller end going on the inside of this piece here. Twisting that in, and then this whole piece can go into the bottom here. And then you can add this back in for extra security. And you can tighten it with this again here as well. So now we have length and weight both attached to it. So we got three different options that we can, actually four different options. If you want length but you don't want weight, then you could take that off as well. We got a lot of different options with this. You can really customize it depending on the space that you have, depending what game you're playing, what options you enjoy using, and what you want to use, which is really great in my opinion, that we have so much ability to customize this golf grip. That's making this, in my opinion, probably going to be one of the best ones I've ever tested. Let's go over here these weights. I'm just going to unscrew this here real quick just so we can talk about it a little bit more. So as you can see here, we have a larger one and two smaller ones. Now, according to our user manual here, we have the bigger one is 145 grams, and then each of the smaller ones are 50 grams each. So we're able to add about 245 grams, slightly more with the little shaft here as well. It's probably about 250 grams. We'll do a weight test in a minute, to the end of your club. And you can add either any variation of those three in there as well. So that's giving it even more ability to customize. Now, to take those weights off or adjust which ones you want, you'll take the smaller Allen key and you'll be able to take these out right here. Now you can see those come off. You could have just one on, you could leave just the big one on, and those will easily screw back in there to keep them on there as well. If you're not having any extra weight on, you don't really need to put those screws back in. Those are to hold these smaller discs in. If just the big one is on, then it's screwed in separately to your shaft there, so you don't really need to do that. So now to put your controller in it, you're going to want to take your right controller. As you can see, there is a curve here that will match your right controller. You can feed the wrist strap through those holes in the bottom. There we go. Make sure that this is loose, turned counterclockwise. So the controller is going to slide right in, as you can see there. Slides right down and in. Strap is coming out the bottom. You can twist this clockwise now to tighten the grip around the controller. There we go. Give it a little tug. It's nice and snug. And then they show this, your wrist strap, just being tied around here just for extra security as well. Very simple installation, very easy to use. This elastic is here if you need to put the elastic around the controller to hold the side trigger down. I know some golf games they can do that for aiming techniques and stuff like that. So that's why this elastic is there. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and use this. I'll show you using it with Walkabout Mini Golf and Golf Plus and how to adjust the controller settings on the games for this here, and then I will come back and give you my review. So in Walkabout Mini Golf, they've actually changed a little bit where you can adjust the club. It used to be over on the right. Now click above your avatar head. Then you can go back to the right, click on custom calibration. Here you can pull the side trigger and you can just move around your club until it's lined up with the virtual club on the screen. Once you got it, press that front trigger, save and exit, and you are good to go. Alright, so I tested it here with Walkabout Mini Golf. I used the weights, used the extra length. I took out the length, took out the weights, did all the different variations that you could find, and I found that I didn't like the weights either way. Having the extra weight when I was just playing a game that was just putting, it was just too much. I didn't need it. Took out the weights. I kept the extra length, sometimes took out the length sometimes, and either of those were okay depending on the space. You can decide for yourself on that, but very enjoyable to use. Definitely is a must for Walkabout Mini Golf. Alright, so on Golf Plus, you're going to want to go to the settings button there, go over to controls, and right here you can switch from left and right-handed, and then you're going to see all these preset golf club attachments. If you can't find yours, just click on the custom right there, and then you're going to pull the side trigger, and you can move that all the way around, and you're going to want to just line it up so your actual club is lining up with the end of the club on there. Here I'm testing it with Golf Plus. Now again, I tried all the variations just like I did on Walkabout Mini Golf. With Golf Plus, I found that I liked the extra length and I liked the extra weight on it as well. Having that extra weight for a full swing, I found actually helped my slice that I usually have in Golf Plus. Kept that a little bit more dead center, and it was just more enjoyable. If you don't have the space, you can still keep that weight on there, as I mentioned before, which is really good. If you want a more realistic golf game, this club is going to be able to do it for you. Alright, so as you saw, I've had a chance to use this with Walkabout Mini Golf with Golf Plus. Let's talk about it a little bit more and give you my review. So overall design, really nice grip. Feels just like a golf club, really great. I like how it can extend down here. The controller cup worked fine for me. Fits right in nice and tight. You can wrap the string around for extra protection. And then we have the weights on the end as well. Now if you want to use this left hand, I didn't mention this before, but you can just switch these places here. This can come over to this side, this can come to this side, and you can put the left controller in there. But with any golf game, you can use the right controller and just select to play left-handed. That's what I always do because I'm a left-handed in golf. Weight-wise, without any of these weights on the end, just the cup and the extended shaft here, we're about 420 grams. With all these weights on there, we're sitting up close to 680, 690 grams. So you can have that varying then depending on how many of these weights you have on there. So between 420 grams and 680 grams. That's quite a lot of weight. If you look up the average weight of a golf club, that's a good range though that you can play with depending on what you're doing. For my personal preference, I liked using all of the weights and the full extension with Golf Plus when I'm doing full driving swings and things like that. I felt like it does help my swing. For a game like Walkabout Mini Golf, I didn't feel the need for the weights. That extra weight, putting the whole time, just got a little bit tedious in my opinion, so I took the weights off and just played with the extended shaft right here. So that was my personal preference. Weights for Golf Plus, no weights with Walkabout Mini Golf, but that's up to your personal preference. But I like to have the option between the two, right? Instead of having no weights at all or having to decide to always have the weights, having that option is really nice. I do like that you can take this extended piece off if you have less space and you just need to have this connect directly to the cup here, and then if you still want that extra weight, you can add it on there and it's not taking up a lot of extra space. This is really a fully customizable and adjustable golf club. I'm really impressed with what they've done with it, because here I've been using Yezro golf clubs for a while here. This was the first one I got. Weights right here, club right there, or controller right there. Very short, very good for small spaces, and if you want the extra weight, you can take those off as well. This was a good one. I used it a lot. Then recently I did test this one out with the cup in the middle, and then the weights were extending to the bottom there, and you could take the weights off if you wanted. But then if you wanted the shorter length, you wouldn't be able to have the weights because there was nowhere to put them. So what they've really done is they've combined these two into this now Y28. So really impressive with what they've done with feedback from people and how they've come up with a new design and improved on the designs that they have. I like that this is the 90-degree angle because I haven't ever had any tracking issues with a 90-degree angle club like this one. Other ones where the controller's kind of facing up this way, the cup would be, facing right up. I have had tracking issues with those types, but I haven't had any tracking issues with these ones here. So if you're looking for a solid golf club attachment, Yezro's got some really good ones, and this, in my opinion, is pretty much an all-in-one. Lengthwise and weight-wise, it gives you a ton of different options. Really impressed with it. I'll link below where you can find it. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. I'm more than happy to be honest with you and answer to the best of my abilities. Thank you for watching this one. We'll see you next time here on True North VR.